Sugar and cognitive health is what I'd like to talk about today. Sugar, why is it so important? Well, it's the primary source of fuel for all cells in our bodies. Now, the organelle in every cell that's responsible for converting sugar into energy are called mitochondria. They're often referred to as the batteries to every cell in our body. Now, carbohydrates and fats are broken into sugar, which is converted to energy in the mitochondria. Simple sugar is converted into energy through anaerobic metabolism. This results in a quick but not sustained energy to our cells. And this is a prime example of this would be a sprinter, for example, who would run very quickly but would run out of energy very quickly. So a quick but not sustained form of energy. Fats are broken down to release more sustained energy through aerobic metabolism. This results in a consistent release of energy for most vital organs in our body. However, there are exceptions. Our brains require a consistent flow of sugar to maintain optimal health. Certain types of sugars are metabolized more efficiently than others, and it is important to recognize the different types of sugars we consume in order to maintain optimal cognitive function. What is optimal cognitive function? I'll give you a few examples. Good memory, focus, clarity, concentration, attention, motivation, hand-eye coordination, physical aptitude, vision, mood stability, and overall sense of well-being. When we eat food that are carbohydrate-based, the metabolism of these carbohydrates cause blood glucose levels to elevate. This provides the necessary fuel our cells need to survive. However, some carbohydrates cause a very quick elevation in blood glucose. These carbohydrates are referred to as having a high glycemic index. This sudden spike in blood glucose levels is not well tolerated by our bodies, and as a result, our bodies will try to bring the glucose levels down. Now, the upside of high glycemic foods is a quick rise in blood glucose in the brain. This can give one a feeling of euphoria and heightened cognition. The downside is that blood glucose levels will drop very quickly as the sugar is metabolized. This crash in blood glucose can cause sudden drop in most or even all cognitive functions, as we discussed earlier. Now, new research suggests that eating large amounts of high glycemic foods can cause an addictive behavior in humans. As our brain glucose levels drop, we crave more of the simple high glycemic foods to provide us with the necessary energy for good cognitive behavior. Ideally, what we want to consume foods with is foods with low glycemic index. These foods cause a slower, steady rise in blood glucose levels, resulting in a more stable blood glucose. Now, because blood glucose levels rise slowly, the subsequent drop in blood glucose is also slower. Eating these foods can help maintain good cognitive function without the typical crash and crave phenomenon of high glycemic foods. You can easily do a search on the internet to identify the glycemic index of most foods. Typically, simple sugars and processed sugars such as sodas, soft drinks, candies, pastries, products containing high fructose corn syrup are of high glycemic values. There's, however, some fruits and vegetables that are also high glycemic foods, such as bananas, pineapples, watermelon, carrots, parsnips, mashed or russet potatoes. The standard North American diet is considered very high in glycemic index foods. What are the trickle-down effects of such a diet? The most disturbing effect is the epidemic of childhood obesity. When we eat these high glycemic foods, a hormone called insulin is then released by the pancreas into the blood. One of the main jobs of insulin is to take the high amount of glucose in the blood and shuttle it to other areas in the body, such as the liver, muscles, and into fat storage. As a result, insulin will bring the blood sugar levels way down, resulting in low blood sugar. As discussed earlier, the result is poor cognitive function. This low blood glucose can cause cravings for more simple sugars. This cycle can repeat itself over and over. Eventually, insulin levels can burn out or the body can become resistant to insulin. This is commonly referred to as diabetes. We now have an epidemic of diabetes and childhood obesities. As we all know, the negative impact of obesity can include all causes of death and mortality, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, including a higher level of your bad cholesterol called LDL and a reduction of your good cholesterol called HDL, or high levels of triglycerides known as dyslipidemia, the occurrence of type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, strokes, gallbladder disease, osteoarthritis, sleep apnea, breathing problems, and even some forms of cancer, endometrial, breast cancer, colon cancer, kidney, and the gallbladder have all been connected to this issue with childhood diabetes and obesity. Low quality of life, mental illnesses such as clinical depression, anxiety, and other mental disorders, body pain, and difficulty with physical functionings. In my clinic, we encourage people to have a diet that's high in the lower glycemic foods, such as apples, cherries, blueberries, blackberries, pears, grains such as whole wheat pasta, vegetables such as cauliflower, chickpeas, sweet potatoes, zucchini, kale, grains such as oats, seeds and nuts like walnuts, raw dates. These low glycemic foods improve cognitive function and reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes and obesity. Well, I hope this empowers you to change your lifestyle and make the necessary changes to improve your overall health and well-being. This is Dr. Raj Jita. Hope you enjoyed this session and we'll hope to see you soon.